It's Griffin, and today I'm coming to you with my first mock draft of the 2025-26 NFL season. So let's get right into it, dive into every player for every team, every pick broken down. Let's go. Overall pick currently with the New York Jets. For this draft order, I'm just using PFF's original draft order, which I'm pretty sure is just this week's basic NFL standings. Seeing the Ravens down here does feel a little weird. But it's still early in the season. It's still an early mock draft. This is really just to lay out players that I like, players that I think are rising, players that I think are falling a little bit in the college world right now, and really just get a read on what teams might be taking, what teams might be that are taking in this NFL season. Jets with the first pick. I think it has to be quarterback. Fields has looked serviceable throughout most of his playtime so far. I still don't think he's an elevator. I'm a big Justin Fields fan, but I'm not sure he's the guy. I'm going Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana. Shooting up boards, he looks amazing at Indiana. They dominated Illinois. Can't wait to see how he plays against Penn State at the end of the year. Speaking of playing against Penn State, my second quarterback off the board to the Browns is Dante Moore. I was a huge Dante Moore guy coming out of high school. I thought he was awesome. I think he's got all the tools to be a great quarterback in the NFL. He looked amazing against Penn State, just dicing up their defense. I know he's rising a lot right now because people are really excited about him getting some Heisman hype. That Oregon offense looks elite. But again, he's just now shown that he can play against tough defenses. He can make good decisions. He can make the right reads. And that's what I'm looking for. I know the Browns might not necessarily need a quarterback because they did just take Shedeur in the last draft. They also took Dylan Gabriel. But I don't think either of those guys should limit the Browns from taking Dante Moore out of Oregon if he was there. The Ravens at 3. I think the Ravens need a lot of help, on defense, maybe some help on the offensive line as well. I think the defense is the main thing that stands out to me. Could be bad coaching. It could also be lack of play from their players. I think Roquan Smith is not playing as well as he has in past years. To me, the best fit for the Ravens is Peter Woods. Justin Madubuike just went back down with an injury. Peter Woods is a better prospect than Justin Madubuike. He could wind up becoming one of the best defensive players in the NFL. He's very, very polished. He's incredibly athletic, 6'3", 310, only 20 and a half years old. He moves the way he does. Like, Peter Woods is an electric player. I know Clemson hasn't looked great so far. I would love Peter Woods to Baltimore. With the Dolphins at 4, the Dolphins also need help everywhere. I mean, I think Mike McDaniel will probably be gone by around midseason. I think the Dolphins offense looks like it needs help. The Dolphins defense looks like it's the worst unit in the league. I think they would wind up just taking best player available, which right now looks like Ruben Bain Jr. Ruben Bain, he is proving himself to be one of the best edge rushers in all of college football with this season that he's having in Miami. Go turn on a rewind of any Miami game. Mostly recently, I think of Miami versus Florida, being a Gators fan. I mean, he just absolutely dominates. Like, he really just pops off the field. Look at this PFF grade, 95.8. That's ridiculous. He's already got 3 sacks. He's a good athlete. Listed here at 6'3". I mean, yeah, he's just been playing an incredible game so far this season. I think he's an elite edge rusher. I think he could easily go top 5, if not even 1 overall. The Dolphins would be happy to keep him in Florida. Saints at 5, another place that might need a quarterback. They also need a lot of everything else. Quarterback wise, I think it is a waste that they just took Tyler Shuck with the 40th overall pick last year. Here, I'm going to give them Lenore Sellers. I think that Sellers is incredible. I know some people are saying, oh, he's just the next Anthony Richardson. He's the next big athletic prospect who can't make decisions down the field. Sellers can make decisions down the field. Trust me, he has great vision. He sees what he wants. And yes, his athletic ability is only a plus. He can extend plays incredibly well. He's very fast, but he also makes good decisions. I like Lenore Sellers to the Saints. They try to find their quarterback of the future. Raiders here at 6. At the beginning of the season, I never would have given the Raiders a quarterback because I love Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith was one of the best quarterbacks with the Seahawks over the past couple of years. However, he has looked terrible with the Raiders this year. Although, looking at the quarterbacks right now, I'm not sure Simpson, Mateer, or Nussmeier is the kind of guy that the Raiders would be willing to use this number 6 pick on if they still had Geno Smith on the roster. They gave him some money. They had to give up draft capital to trade for him. I'm just not sure that Ty Simpson, Mateer, and Nussmeier are really the talents that maybe these top 3 guys are. I'm not sure the Raiders would be willing to use this pick on one of these guys. So instead, I'm going to go defense. I think the Raiders would take TJ Parker. They would maybe even consider taking a corner, shore up that secondary with Jamal McCoy. But my pick here is TJ Parker. I think even though Clemson's having a down season, TJ Parker is still great. He's still a great athlete. He still has a great pass rush bag. I think that him on the opposite side of Max Crosby, still mix in Tyree Wilson, really shores up that Clemson defense. Titans at 7. Now, in the past, I've had them taking Jordan Tyson, had them taking Jamal McCoy, I've had them taking Keldrick Faulk. I really think the best pick for the Titans is to go get Jordan Tyson, go get another weapon for Cam Ward. He's a blossoming star. Get your quarterbacks, your weapons. Giants at 8. I think maybe do the Giants have their future quarterback in Jackson Dart? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. That offense is looking a lot better than it had. Defense still has some questions. Maybe the D-line still has some questions. They could use a Keldrick Faulk. They could use a Caleb Banks. But at the same time, I think best player available, maybe even the best player in the draft, is Caleb Downs. I love the fit of Caleb Downs slotting in at safety for the New York Giants. Bengals at 9. It feels insane to not take a defensive player here if you are the Cincinnati Bengals. But at the same time, that offensive line still sucks. It is so bad. The Bengals cannot protect Joe Burrow for anything, and they need to because he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. Got to protect Joe Burrow. Spencer Fano is one of the best tackles in this draft class. It's not an amazing tackle draft class, but he's great. Spencer Fano is the pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. Panthers here at 10. I think the Panthers can use a lot of these players, but the number one that sticks out to me still here on the board is Mekhi Lemon. I think Mekhi Lemon is a great player. He's a great receiver. He's very athletic. He's very great after the catch. It's maybe a little bit more of a slot receiver, but that fits in perfectly with what the Panthers have now, having Tet on the outside. You need more weapons for Bryce Young. Mekhi Lemon is that guy. The Texans here, to me, offensive line is also their biggest need. I really like Francis Mauigoa out of Florida. I think he is a great pickup here for the Texans. He can slot in. Maybe he's a guard, maybe he's a tackle. Whatever the case, he would be a great player for the Texans. Cardinals at 12. I've liked a lot of what I've seen from the Cardinals this year, and at the same time, I haven't liked everything. I think the Cardinals could still use some help in that secondary, even though they have a lot of young corners. Debating between Jamal McCoy and Mansour Delon. I think with the injury to McCoy, the safer pick is Mansour Delon. He's been amazing to start this season, part of a great LSU defense. I mean, he's just playing incredibly. The pick that he had was super great. He's a great athlete. He fits in great to help shore up this Arizona secondary. Cowboys at 13. The Cowboys also need more help on defense. What do they need the most? A pass rusher. If only they had a pass rusher right about now. But anyway, Dallas Cowboys, I have taken Keldrick Faulk. I think Keldrick Faulk is also an amazing athlete. There's a lot of great athletes off the edge here. 6'6", 285, but he moves like he is not 285, I'll tell you that much. Turn on the tape for Auburn. Keldrick Faulk pops. He is the pass rush juice that the Cowboys need. Rams at 14. This is the Falcons pick that they received from the Falcons trade up last year. The Rams also need some help. The one thing that's very interesting to me is how long does Matthew Stafford play? Are they willing to take a quarterback here to learn behind Matthew Stafford? I think they take Garrett Nussmeier. I know Nussmeier is falling a little bit because he has not played amazingly. He hasn't been as electric as he has been able to. But what Nussmeier can do is he can read the field. He can play in an offense styled like Sean McVay's. I think that Garrett Nussmeier would be a great fit here for the Rams. He can sit behind Matthew Stafford. He can learn a little bit. And then he can hopefully develop into their QB of the future here at 14. Chiefs at 15, it's just fate that Jeremiah Love would fall to them here. Of course, the Chiefs get even more than they already have. The rich get richer. Jeremiah Love is incredible. I could see a case for him being another running back in 2 years going top 10, maybe even top 5, depending on who's picking there. It's tough with positional value, but Jeremiah Love is unreal. He's decent through the passing game, but he's incredible on the ground. What he can do with the ball in his hands, it's pretty unmatched by anybody in college football. I think he does need a little bit of work with his vision. That's something that the Chiefs can work on. Get him north to south. Get him with the football in his hands. The Bears are upset that they themselves were not able to get Jeremiah Love. I think that would be a great fit in the Ben Johnson offense. I think that he would be a great fit for them. I think a need for the Bears, even more than running back, is another defensive lineman. They've got Gervon Dexter in there. They've got some other options on the interior D line, but they need somebody to stuff the run. They had another Florida defensive tackle to that Gervon Dexter room in Caleb Banks. Number 17, the Commanders. The Commanders have some secondary problems. I think Jamar McCoy would be a fit here, but the Commanders also have weapons problems for Jayden Daniels. Zach Ertz cannot play forever. Zach Ertz is not their tight end of the future. I think that Kenyon Sadiq here would be an amazing fit for Jayden Daniels. Kenyon Sadiq, if you turn on the tape, Kenyon Sadiq is an unreal playmaker. He's so fast. Yes, he's not huge for a tight end, only 6'3", 245, but he does block like he's bigger than that. He can run routes like a pro. He moves like a pro. I love Kenyon Sadiq here to the Commanders. Rams picking again. I gave them Garrett Nussmeier with their first pick. Now they're going to take an actual need here for the secondary. They take Jamar McCoy. They have some players back there at corner, but they need more. I think they would take the gamble on McCoy. McCoy's a great player, injured right now, but we've seen him be elite before. Patriots here at 19. Pats maybe have some needs on the O-line, but I'm not wowed by any of these offensive linemen to the place where I would want them over Morgan Moses or Garrett Bradbury at this moment. So I think the pick for the Pats here is Arvell Reese. If you watched Texas versus Ohio State, Arvell Reese is a player. He flies down the field, flies into gaps. I mean, he plays out of his mind. He can make any tackle on the field. He's the kind of guy that would upgrade this Pats linebacker room and create one of the better defenses in the NFL if they can figure their secondary out, keep Gonzo healthy. Arvell Reese is a great pick for the Patriots. Broncos here at 20. I've got them taking Mateo Uyunglele, brother of DJ Uyunglele. He is a playmaker out of Oregon. Mateo is big, he's fast, gets after the quarterback. I really like him as a player. I think the Broncos could use a little more help on the D-line outside of Nick Bonito. I really like this fit here. They add more juice to that pass rush room. The Chargers, the O-line is fried. They need more than anything on the O-line. I think Jennings Dunker can play tackle, maybe. Do you need that? Probably not if Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater can stay healthy, but Jennings Dunker could play somewhere else. He could slide into guard. I think that Jennings Dunker would be a really good pick here for the Chargers. I think they need to help that offensive line. It would really help their run game out. They've got a young back in Amarion Hanson. Need someone to run behind. Jennings Dunker goes to the Chargers. At 22, the Vikings. I've got the Vikings here taking Sonny Styles. I think that in Brian Flores' defense, if Brian Flores is still there next year, if he doesn't get another look at being a head coach, Sonny Styles could eat. He can play anywhere on the field. He also, just like his partner Arvell Reese, flies down the field. This Ohio State linebacking duo is one of the best that I've ever seen in college football. Sonny Styles with Brian Flores would be absolute chaos for any team trying to play against them. You just have to respect the strength of him as a linebacker, his coverage ability, his run stop ability, his ability to blitz. Sonny Styles is a great all around player, gadget tool for Brian Flores to add. Seahawks here at 23. I do think the Seahawks could use some corner help if they were to take Avion Terrell. I could absolutely see that happening. But I do think they take Carnell Tate. They add another OSU receiver to the room alongside JSN. Again, Cooper Kupp can't play forever. Torrey Horton and Jake Bobo. It looks like he might have something with one of those guys, but I'm really not sure. I think Carnell Tate is a great route runner. He's just a great all around player. I think he adds a ton of depth to this Seahawks, wide receiver room. Cowboys again. They took Keldrick Faulk with the first pick. With their second pick, I think they help even more on that defense. Avion Terrell slides in. He is a great corner for them. Pittsburgh Steelers at 25. The Steelers need a quarterback beyond Aaron Rodgers. And Ty Simpson, through his first 5 games, has looked pretty great for Alabama. I know it was a little rough at the start, but since then he's really settled in. He's looked great. Again, Rodgers cannot play forever. And in this league, you need a quarterback who can play, who can make decisions, who can move a little bit. And that's Ty Simpson. I think the Steelers add Ty here, add him to that quarterback room, see what he can do. The Browns here took Dante Moore with their first pick. What they need for Dante Moore is another weapon. Denzel Boston is here. Denzel Boston is your prototypical go up and get that shit. Throw it to him in the red zone. He's going to catch it. 6'4", 209. He moves well. He catches what's thrown at him. He's going to be a playmaker in the NFL. He's just too big of a body to account for all the time. You need a big defensive back on him. Denzel Boston, he's a great route runner. He's got great speed. He fits in great here to help Dante Moore improve that offense. Bucks at 27. I think the Bucks have been doing a pretty good job drafting on the O-line these past few years. I think receiver looks great. I think the Bucks could really use another edge rusher to add to this group. And I'm going to go with R. Mason Thomas. He might purely be a pass rush guy in the NFL. I'm not sure he has the size or the ability to be a really great run defender. But outside of Kalijah Kancey, the Bucks could definitely look to add an edge rusher who can get after the passer. They've got Vita Vea on the inside. They need someone to fly off the edge. That's R. Mason Thomas. I really like the pick for the Bucks. The Detroit Lions here. I think the Lions are another team who could really use some interior O-line help. I really like Olavia Vega-Ione. I know I just butchered that, but I like him a lot. He's a great pass protector out of Penn State. Jake Slaughter as well, great run blocker. A little bit of injury history, but still an excellent player. I think either of these guys would be great fits. I'm going to go with Ione from Penn State. Bills here at 29. I think the Bills, there are a lot of players here that would fit great with the Bills. I think Connor Lew is possible. Do you want more depth on that interior O-line outside of Osiris Torrance? Do you want more edge rush juice? Would you be willing to take a Cassius Howell? Great athlete. Is he a great player? Does he have all the tools? He sacks the quarterback, that's for sure. He gets after the passer. I think the Bills could use that. They've got some good options on the D-line already. You can make it even better with Cassius Howell. Niners here. The Niners need a receiver. The Niners need somebody who can stay healthy, who can be that guy for them. Maybe even more than that, they need offensive line. But if I look at the offensive linemen on the board outside of Jake Slaughter, maybe Connor Lew, maybe Caden Proctor, I'm not really willing to spend a super high pick on any of those guys. I think Chris Brazzell is a playmaker. Touchdowns in a game speaks for itself. He just really is incredible going up to get the ball with the ball in his hands. I like the fit of Chris Brazzell here. You add him to that room with Pearsall, Ayuk, Bourne, whoever's healthy at this point, you add him to that group. Colts at 31. I really think the Colts could still use some help in the secondary. AJ Harris is right here, but I want to take Colton Hood. I think Colton Hood is the other size for a corner. I think Colton Hood slots into that defense and just makes a difference immediately. Tennessee can count on him being a great player. The Eagles here. The Eagles could use a whole lot of players. What does the future of that offensive line look like as people get older? What does the wide receiver room look like? Is AJ Brown happy being there? Is AJ Brown even? To me, the best pick here is going to be Connor Liu. Thank you guys for watching this edition of my NFL mock draft. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope anybody who watched all the way through would be willing to like and subscribe. It would be a huge help to me. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you tune in for my next mock draft coming up next week after this weekend's NFL games and college games, obviously. I hope to see you then, and I'll see you guys in the next one.